I would have paid somebody $10,000 what I am about to tell you. Like, it is that deep. This is the greatest lesson that I have learned as an online entrepreneur, as a woman in business, as a girl making money online. I have a 6-figure online business that I created, and I have been traveling the world making money from my phone. I have over 100,000 followers across social media, like the whole thing. And this is the greatest business advice that would have accelerated my growth quicker. Like, I would already be far past 7 figures if I would have known this sooner. And this would have alleviated so much stress, so much anxiety, so much back and forth. This was a huge internal battle with me, and this is one of the major lessons that you will learn as an entrepreneur. If you want to become a content creator, a UGC creator like I am, if you want to be an influencer, work with brands, start your own clothing company, create an app, like, it doesn't matter what lane you're in, God is going to make sure that you learn this lesson, because this is a requirement for success. And that is emotional regulation. You have to learn how to regulate your emotions when things do not go your way. When you are literally doing everything, you're doing every single piece of action and nothing is working. When you get rejected, when people in your business scam you, because I've had like people, even like brands, like people who buy my digital products, or brands that don't pay you, or people who do a refund on a digital product that they bought, which they put a fraud on their card, even though they meant to buy that digital product. So many things. You have to be emotionally regulated, because if you are not emotionally regulated, when you don't learn this skill set, this is the #1 skill set that's going to make you so much money. When you don't learn this, what it looks like is you start and stop. You quit the business. You think, oh, you know what? I think it'll be better if I do this other thing, especially as a beginner entrepreneur. But I think, like, as someone who's been in business for almost 4 years now, you forget these little things. You forget these little lessons that you learn in the beginning, and then they constantly keep showing up. If you are in the beginning stages of your entrepreneurial journey, please know that you're gonna save so much more time if you don't quit. I know you might have shiny object syndrome, and you might be like, well, this thing, I'm putting all this effort in, it's not working. You know what? There's another vehicle, there's another thing. Like, let's say like you want to be a UGC creator like I am, and you're trying UGC and it's not working, and you're doing everything right, and you bought the courses and you hired the mentor, and like nothing is working. And then you look over here and you're like, oh, there's this other thing that I could be doing. Like, everyone's creating an AI app, and let me go there. You are literally wasting so much time. You're gonna collapse time. You're gonna get to your destination quicker if you stick with the vehicle that you have now. If you endure the feelings and emotion that you have now. Entrepreneurship and business is so emotional. And the thing about it is, when you get into business, you think that you're just doing it for money, because you kind of are. Like, you're like, you know, maybe you're at a 9-to-5 job, you hate your life, you're like, I don't want to be at this job, I want freedom, I want to be traveling the world, making money from my phone, or doing whatever you want to do. You initially started because you're like, I want to make some money. You know, not everybody starts a business to be rich, even though I think that should be everybody's goal. But I think like 99% of people start businesses for freedom, for income freedom, time freedom, location freedom, all the freedoms. And so you think you're starting it to make money and to generate money, but you realize that it becomes a never-ending game of overcoming yourself. You realize that this entire game, like, you think you're working on your business, but your business is working on you. I said that in my last video, how this entire time my business was actually developing me. It was making me a stronger person. It was making me somebody who was resilient, somebody who is disciplined, somebody who shows up for themselves, someone who keeps the promises to themselves, somebody who has a conviction, a strong conviction level mindset, somebody who can see the vision even when it's not physically there. Like, there are so many skills outside of the actual skill. Like, learning UGC and learning the skill set of creating content for brands was 10% of the work. And I'm not even like the greatest UGC creator. Like there's so many UGC creators who are way like more creative than me. And that's another point, is like there's also a lot of content creators out there that are so talented, but they don't have all the skill sets to be an entrepreneur. Like they haven't cracked that identity yet, so they stay talented but broke. Like I see this all the time when you don't have those characteristics to create the result, because on the other side of what you want is the person who you have to become. Like that is a requirement. We think that it's about getting things, getting money, getting success, getting followers, getting brand deals. Like we think it's a game of I'm just gonna get, but it's really a game of becoming. It's becoming the person who can have that thing. It's adapting the identity. It's adapting the mindset. It's adapting the behaviors and patterns and habits and action and ways of being of the version of yourself who has that thing. So if you don't have what you want right now, it's because you are not the person who can have that. You're not the person who can create that, who can hold that. And it's about identifying where you fall short and building yourself. That's why I say invest everything on yourself, not necessarily on your business. And that is why in my coaching programs, like with UGC, I'm also a UGC coach as well. I teach people how to become UGC creators. I focus so much on the identity. Like it's not just, okay, make these videos and this is the strategy. It is like 10%, 10 to 20% strategy, 80 to 90% identity, personal development, becoming that person. And going back to the topic at hand of emotional regulation, I started making money. I went on this journey to making money online when I was 18 years old, and I figured out that people were making money on the internet because I was always addicted to the internet. Like when I was a little girl, I would be on all the virtual worlds, not Sims, because I was never allowed to have Sims because it was like too like adulty or whatever. But like Build-A-Bearville and like Moshi Monsters and like, I can't even remember, but like every virtual world you can think of, I was on it when I was like 12 years old. So I started creating content when I was about 11 years old because I saw these YouTube videos of these kids my age making stop motion music videos. If you know, you know. If you've been on YouTube since like the 2010s era, you know that it was a stop motion music video era. It was the beauty guru era that was booming. So I always like try to be a beauty guru, be like, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And I'm showing you my lip gloss. And like, I was that kid, okay? So I grew up on social media. Like I'm a Gen Z. We were like the first generation to grow up on social media. And then when I was 18, you know, I was like also like addicted to my computer and the internet because I entered like a really like depressed, sad season of my life when I was like a teenager. So I would just spend all day in my room on my laptop, going on the internet, watching things, just like doom scrolling, but like on the computer because like TikTok, like I don't think like people were like really doom scrolling back then. Because I was like 18, maybe people were. I think people definitely were, but we were all addicted to the internet. So I came across this video of this woman and this man, Tatiana and Stephen James. They're still on YouTube. They're now married with children. And at the time, they were just boyfriend and girlfriend. And he posted this video of Stephen. She makes $40,000 a month from Amazon FBA. And I was like, wait, what? Like that's somebody's yearly salary. Like I could make like in my mind, it wasn't jealousy. It wasn't like, how dare she? Like that's not how my brain works. Like my brain works where I'm like, oh, that's a possibility. Like when I saw the video, I wasn't even thinking about her. I didn't care about her. I was like, oh, I could do that. Like for some reason, I've just always had this strong level of faith in myself, even when it doesn't make sense. In my mind, I was just like, oh my gosh, like I could be making like I just saw the title and I watched the video and I was like, I could be making $40,000 a month from Amazon FBA or from somewhere. So that's when I made the unconscious slash conscious, not really sure. I just had this like thing in my mind where I was like, I'm gonna become a millionaire. Like, I don't know where it came from. It probably came from my family because I grew up in a household that was very much big thinking. Like, my parents always told me that I was gonna be super successful, that I was gonna be a millionaire. They always taught me to dream bigger and push past. Like, that was definitely something that was like in my household of like, you can do anything, you can be anything, you can have anything. All like, there's gonna be like work you have to do. There's gonna be things you have to do to get there. But if you can think it, you can have it, you can do it, you can be it. That's like my parents, what they instilled in me and my brother. So when I finished this video, I'm like, I'm getting rich online. Like, I don't care. So that was like the first desire that I had to like making money online. And then from 18 to 23, I started several side hustles and failed at all of them pretty much. I started several drop shipping stores. They all failed. I started an Etsy shop selling handmade bath goods. So I would literally make soaps, bath bombs, body bars, creams, body scrubs. Like, I would make it in my mom's basement because I was unemployed. I didn't drop out of college at this point, but I was like not in school, unemployed, just like, I don't know what to do with my life. I had no friends. Like, it was just a crazy time in my life. So my mom, she was like, you should, if you want to do this, just start the business. So I ended up doing that. That ended up failing. And all these things failed, not because they actually failed or didn't work or the concept wasn't good. They failed because I stopped. That's why they failed. So when I say they failed, I just stopped doing it because I got discouraged because I wasn't emotionally regulated. I allowed my emotions to sway my decision making, basically. Because when I launched my first drop shipping store, I actually got 2 sales that day. And I was discouraged because I didn't make thousands of dollars because I had put so much time, so much energy, so much research into this. I also put a lot of money into it. And then I'm like, I didn't even break even. I think I put like a few $100s into it and I sold 2 units. And it ended up being like less than $100. So I was like, and I'm like, I really wish I would have stuck with that because it would have been successful. It was like such a good idea too. And my brother, he tells me, he's like, oh, we should bring back that business. I'm like, that is so old. Like, I have so many other priorities and things that I want to do now with my current business. So, but it failed because I got emotional, because I felt like the work that I put in notice I said felt. I felt that the work that I put in should have amounted to a bigger result. And that's the thing with your feelings, is that you might feel like you're doing everything. You might feel like you tried everything, but in reality, you haven't. Like, that is just a feeling. Feeling like you've tried everything, you've done everything. That's just a feeling. You haven't tried everything. You haven't done everything. You haven't given it 110%. If I'm being honest, none of those businesses I gave 110%. Because if I would have, they would have made 6 figures. Like, this is the business that I actually like put everything into because it ends up being successful. So it's not about what you feel like is enough. It's about doing what is required to get the result that you want. Like, I just came from the gym. I just worked out. And like, I compare so many things to the gym because the gym is one of those things where like my health and fitness is one of those things where it's so easy for me. It's so dialed in. Like, it is my most success thing. Like, not even my business, because I've been doing it the longest. I started working out when I was 18. And that's like my biggest success, I guess, in my eyes. And I see so many people who are like trying to lose weight and they're like, I've tried everything. And it's like, no, you haven't. You haven't done what is required. And so be reminded of that when you're starting your business, when you're in your business that you've already started, whatever point you're in right now. You have to not make decisions out of emotion. This is another thing, is like people switch. People do UGC. Then they're like, oh, I'm gonna build an AI app, because like AI apps are like the thing right now. Then they're like, oh, I'm gonna do drop shipping. Then I'm gonna start a clothing brand. Oh, I'm gonna do TikTok shop. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be an influencer. I'm gonna do... And it's like, you have to allow things to compound. If you don't allow things to compound, you're not gonna receive the result that you want, because everything that I have, everything that every successful person has, it is because they have allowed it to compound. They've allowed time like to build it. Like there's a point where just doing it one time isn't enough. It has to be repetitive. You have to repeatedly do that, and it has to grow. So, and that doesn't mean that it's gonna take a million years for you to see your goal, but I think it's gonna take longer than you quitting. That's the thing that I want to get across. And the ways that I've made so many mistakes with this, because I'm not talking at you guys, I'm talking really to myself, because this has been one of my biggest handicaps, because even as I was making money in my UGC business, I still wanted to quit. Like, because it got hard, because I feel like I should be at this number and I'm not at this number. Even though I'm so grateful for how far I've come, I'm like comparing myself to people who started at the same time that I did, or people who started way after me, and I'm like, oh, like she made 7 figures in like her first year doing this, or you know, you start to compare, and it's like, no, we're not gonna get emotional. That's like one thing. Another thing is shiny object syndrome, and thinking that something else is gonna be better. But the truth is that you're still gonna learn the lesson that God is trying to show you, that the business is exposing. Business exposes a lot about yourself. So regardless if you switch the vehicle and instead of doing UGC, you launch an AI app, that business is now gonna expose the same flaw, the same characteristic that you need to change. It's gonna follow you until you heal it, until you become that person. It's gonna continue to follow you. Like, if your main thing is like, you procrastinate, as an example, this is like just like a very easy low level example, you switching the vehicle and doing another business model is not gonna stop you from procrastinating, because you procrastinate. You procrastinate. So it's the same thing with everything else that you're dealing with. You might be thinking it's so hard to, and I'm not saying that there are, like every business model is gonna be different, but understand that every business model has its challenges. Like UGC is not a perfect business model. It has so many challenges. There's so many upsides and there's so many downsides, and that is every single business. You are not gonna find a perfect business. And I think that was a thing that kept holding me back, is I was trying to find the perfect thing. I was trying to find like the perfect business that was like, didn't have any problems. And then as I was doing every business, because I've tried so many business models, I was like, they all have shit. In the words of Alex Hormozy, they all have shit. Like every business model that I went into, I'm like, oh, like I thought you were perfect, but you have problems too. So then it becomes not about choosing the best business model, but choosing a business model based on your values, based on the end result of how you want to see your life, of how you want to live your day. Like if you don't want to live your day talking to a camera all the time and on social media, you probably shouldn't be a content creator, because as content creators, we're talking to our cameras. We're on social media, right? That doesn't mean like I'm, addicted to social media, or that you have to be addicted to social media, because that is so not true. You can definitely have a healthy relationship with social media and be a content creator. But I'm saying if you despise social media and it's like the worst thing on earth for you, you hate talking to your camera, don't be a content creator. Like that's not gonna be a good path for you, right? But if you're someone who likes that, like I do, like I love creating content, I love making videos, I love being creative, I love working with brands and working with my students and helping people do what I do. Like I love it. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say about emotional regulation. If you can learn this one thing as a beginner entrepreneur, you are going to make so much money. Stop switching the vehicle, stop changing business models because today you're depressed that you didn't get the sales that you wanted, or you were pitching brands and you got rejected by all your pitches. Like, it is going to be an emotional roller coaster, and that is okay. The reason why it's an emotional roller coaster is because what it's trying to teach you is it's trying to teach you to regulate yourself. It's trying to teach you to not quit when one thing doesn't go your way. It's trying to teach you to not quit. Like, I have heard crazy stories from like 7, 8, 9-figure entrepreneurs, like Alex Hormozi, for example, how he had a multi-million-dollar business that like went under, and he had to like make $1 million in like 30 days or something, like something crazy like that, and all the challenges that he had to go through. And I'm like, oh, like, just start watching interviews. Like, if this is something where you're like, you want to dive a little bit deeper into, what helps me is watching interviews of successful people who went through challenges and overcame them. Because I promise you, the challenges you're dealing with right now as a new baby business owner, you can't even imagine some of these challenges that these huge mega entrepreneurs who are running like 8-figure companies deal with. When like you have a lawsuit from somebody trying to take everything that you've built for the last 10 years. When you have orders, like I heard another entrepreneur talk about how their supplier went under overnight and they had all these orders. Like, imagine you have like 10,000 orders that you have to fulfill for customers, and overnight your supplier is like gone. And then you keep like, I hear those stories and I'm like, oh, what I'm dealing with is like nothing. Like, I'm sorry, like it's nothing. Like, it's like those are the lessons. Those are that's what you need. That's what they need. That's what we all need to be better. Like, life is always going to be making us better. Life is trying to give us everything we've been asking for, but we keep fighting it because we don't want to go through the lessons required to have those things. Stop fighting it. Be resilient. Get through the difficult seasons that you're going through as a beginner entrepreneur. Like, and a lot of the season that you're going through as a beginner is just mindset stuff that isn't even real. Like, the doubt that you have, the limiting beliefs that you have, thinking it's oversaturated, thinking, I'm crazy that I think I can make $1 million. Like, all these thoughts that you're having, like, a lot of it is just like perceived struggle and not actual struggle or challenges. A lot of it is just the perception of a challenge and not actually like a challenge. Like, getting rejected by a brand. Like, I have students who come into my mentorship and they're like, I sent 100 pitches and they all said no, I think I want to quit. And they're like sad face crying. It's like, girl, that's not a problem. That's just feedback. It's just feedback showing you that something is wrong with your pitch. Maybe you're reaching out to the wrong brands. Like, it is just feedback. That is it. Do not get emotional with it. So anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you guys in my next one. If you're not already subscribed, I talk about mindset, entrepreneurship, making money online with UGC in these videos. So yeah, love you so much.